Hey guys, before we start, have you ever walked into a house and just knew something was wrong? Not like needs new paint wrong. I mean the kind of wrong that makes the hairs on your neck stand up. That's exactly what happened to me in early 2023. It was January 2023. I'd just taken this random office job in a small town in northern Indiana, one of those places where the biggest news is usually a new Dollar General opening. Rent in the city was eating half my paycheck, so I was desperate. Late one night, I'm on Zillow, scrolling, half asleep, and this old Victorian house pops up. $775 a month, wraparound porch, tall, skinny windows, hardwood floors that looked original. The photos were kind of dark and grainy, but I thought, man, this thing has soul. The yard was overgrown, paint peeling, but I didn't care. I figured I'd fix it up slowly. Classic I'll make it my own delusion. I drove out there on a Saturday to sign the lease. The landlord was this older guy in a flannel shirt who met me in his truck in the driveway because, get this, the house still didn't have power hooked up yet. I signed anyway, didn't even do a proper walkthrough, just handed him the check, got the keys, and told myself I'd deal with everything later. I moved in the next weekend. Boxes stacked in the hallway, pizza boxes on the floor, that whole chaotic, new place energy. First couple nights were actually nice, quiet, almost peaceful. I remember sitting on the porch steps at like 10 p.m. listening to crickets and thinking, this is it. I finally got a real house. Then the basement started to bother me. Not right away, but every time I went down there to store boxes, grab tools, whatever, there was this smell. Not moldy or wet, more like old metal and something sweet, like pennies mixed with flowers that had been left in a vase too long. I kept telling myself it was just an old house thing, bad drainage, poor air circulation. I started keeping the basement door closed and tried not to go down there unless I had to. About a week in, I'm moving some empty moving boxes downstairs so I don't trip over them forever. I kick one of those soggy cardboard stacks the previous owner left behind, and a floorboard literally pops up, just lifts like it was waiting for me. Underneath is this rusted metal box, maybe the size of a kid's lunchbox. I sit down right there on the cold concrete and pry it open with the screwdriver I had in my pocket. Inside, newspaper clippings, dozens of them, all from spring 1978, all about the same person. His name was Raymond Carver, lived in this house, worked at a local factory. Quiet guy, no family in the area. One Tuesday in March, he didn't show up to his shift, never came home. Car still in the driveway, lights off, nothing. The articles kept saying no evidence of foul play, but you could read between the lines. The cops didn't buy it. One little detail stuck with me. Neighbors told police they saw strange flickering lights in the basement windows at night for weeks after the house was empty, like someone was still down there using candles or flashlights or something. I carried the box upstairs, sat on my couch, and just stared at those yellowed papers for probably an hour. My heart was hammering. I told myself it was nothing. People disappear. Houses have history. I even laughed a little, nervously, and said out loud, okay, creepy, but it's over. Done. Except the house wasn't done. 3 nights later, I wake up at 3:17 a.m., pitch black, no streetlights near the house, and there's this tapping. Not fast, frantic tapping, slow, deliberate, coming from the wall right behind my headbed. Tap, 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 like someone's knuckle, patient. I lie there frozen. It stops. I tell myself I'm imagining it. Then it starts again, this time slower, like it knows I'm awake and listening. The next morning, I'm ripping the baseboard off with a crowbar, drywall dust everywhere. Behind the plaster is this little hidden compartment, maybe 2 feet wide, maybe a foot tall. I reach in and pull out stuff. Old Polaroids, people I've never seen, some smiling like it's a holiday, some just staring straight ahead with dead eyes. A woman's silver necklace, chain tangled, a plain gold wedding band, and one single sheet of yellow legal paper. The handwriting is shaky, like the person was crying or scared or both. It just says, March 12th, 1978. He won't tell anyone. The floor hides everything. One of the photos slips out of my hand and lands face up. It's him, Raymond Carver, standing in what is now my living room, same fireplace, same crown molding. He's trying to smile, but his eyes are wide open, terrified, like someone just told him something awful and the camera clicked at the exact wrong second. I called the police that afternoon.
2 officers came out. They took photos, bagged everything, asked me the usual questions. The older detective, gray hair, quiet voice, looked around the living room for a long time. He finally said, "We'll have to get a crew in to break up the basement floor. Could be weeks. Maybe stay somewhere else for a bit. Just precaution." I tried to stay, I really did, but the house kept pushing. Stairs creaking at night when no one was on them. Not random settling noises, slow, careful steps. Up 3, pause. Down 2. Lights flickering even after I swapped every bulb. One night I woke up to whispering coming through the hallway vent, low, muffled, like someone talking with fabric over their mouth. I couldn't make out words, but it felt personal, like it was saying my name over and over, slow. I grabbed my keys, went out to my car, reclined the seat, locked the doors, and just sat there till sunrise. I lasted maybe 4 more days after that. Packed everything into trash bags and a borrowed U-Haul. Left the keys on the kitchen counter with a note that just said, "I'm gone." Didn't even ask for my deposit back, just drove away and never looked in the rear view. About a year later, I'm scrolling on my phone and a news alert pops up from the local station. Human remains discovered under concrete slab in northern Indiana home. They didn't print the address, but I knew instantly. Age, height, it matched Raymond Carver. No second set of remains, just him. No official cause of death yet. Case still under investigation. The detective called me a couple weeks after the article. Same tired voice. He said, "For years we thought he hurt somebody. Turns out, maybe somebody hurt him. Or maybe he couldn't carry whatever he was carrying anymore." That house kept it buried a long time. I live in a boring apartment complex now. Bright hallway lights, kids screaming at 7 a.m., neighbors who borrow sugar. I like it that way. I still check the locks 3 times every night, though, and sometimes, when it's dead quiet, I catch myself listening, waiting for tapping that doesn't come. I don't know if Raymond was the monster or if he was the one who got caught by one. Maybe it was both. All I know is that house remembered, and it wanted someone to listen. You ever lived somewhere that felt like it had its own memory? Like it was waiting for you to notice something? Tell me I'm not crazy. Seriously, I need to know that I'm not the only one who's felt that. Drop your stories in the comments. I read every one. If this gave you chills, smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next one. And whatever you do, if a house feels heavy, trust your gut. I'll see you in the next story. Stay safe out there.